Back again.
Yes, sir. You know what time it is. Welcome to See
What happened was that's gonna be a thing. Like I say in every episode, we'll get it right.
Oh, yeah. I am Dre. That is Rashad. Once again, welcome to another episode of See What Happened Was.
Yes.
Right off the top, I want to say thank y'all so much for the viewership of last episode, the Kevin Samuels episode. Easily, by far, our highest viewed episode to date. I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell us. Was it the topic? Was it the suits?
What was it? Let us know.
Let us
comments
know
below. Let us know what it was,
because we definitely had a lot of viewership. Definitely a lot of viewership from the clips that were put up on YouTube and Instagram as well. So we thank y'all so much for that. Thank y'all for following us and for subscribing. Really appreciate that.
Really appreciate it. That's right.
So in particular, Rashad, what kind of feedback did you get from it?
Man, I received a lot of feedback. I mean, of course, inbox, there was a lot of, how can you say that? Or, your attitude, the way you deliver things is like, it's all constructive. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what I said. And I don't apologize for it. That's just what it is. It's like, I like to live on this philosophy. Like, if you see like, our older generation, our older people, they say what they want to say, right? Because they're at an age where it's like, what are you going to do?
Right.
I'm not going to wait until I get into my 60s and 70s to speak my mind. I'm going to speak it now. So I said what I said. You know what I mean? Yeah, but lots of feedback. There was a lot of kudos versus, nah, from both sides. But it's like I said before, you don't like it, don't watch it. Your choices.
Pretty much.
But I thank y'all. Everybody that shared it. And man, I really thank y'all. We're going to keep it up. We're going to keep it up with the topics. Definitely.
Yeah, we are. And there's just a lot more where that came from. And speaking of topics, today's topic is going to be 50-50 relationships. In the same vein of last episode, we're going to keep it going. In particular, the 50-50 relationships. What are 50-50 relationships? What's the interpretation of the 50-50 relationships? I mean, is it really feasible to have a 50-50 relationship? Rashad, we'll start off. What do you think?
Are you sure you want to do that?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. I mean, here's my thing. I don't understand why the 50-50 relationship is so bad. Okay. I mean, look, if it works for you, it works. If it doesn't, that's cool. So my thing is, you mean you want to come into a relationship and do absolutely nothing? So, perfect example. If, quote unquote, the dude is out working and all this and this and this and that, and he comes home to a dirty house, no food, no nothing, no affection, no nothing, then what are you there for? Right. I don't understand that. If you have nothing to do, then you can't do the basics. Now, on the flip side of that, most people feel that, well, that's what a man is supposed to do. Yep. And I would really love to understand where that came from. And I like to throw in like how some people use the Bible, like we used last time. But that sounds like 50-50 to me, what a woman should be doing, what a man should be doing. But I think it's just the newer generation that has just gotten so lazy, and matter of fact, the video I sent you where the dude was upset. He came home. He was working like what, I don't know, 13 hours or something like
Right.
that. He didn't have no food when he came home, and
Right.
his later or whatever was just like, "Here, you can have a bite of this pizza." You know what I mean? And he was very, very upset. And watching that video, I was like, "Man, that's heartfelt. Like,
Right.
you've been out doing all of this and you don't do nothing, but he couldn't even get any food."
Right.
She'd have been on the midnight train to Georgia, here with me, because that was like heartbreaking. But I just don't understand. I really want a lot of you viewers out there to really comment and let us know, where does that come from? What is so wrong with the 50-50 thing? Now, what I'm really seeing right now is a man versus woman big fight, is all I'm saying. Why
Yep.
can't we just come together and work together
Yep.
like we used to?
Yep.
But 50-50 is okay, especially if you want to live a certain kind of lifestyle. You bringing in finances, the man, the woman bringing in finances, you put it all together and you build a household,
Exactly.
but I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah. And it goes back to what we were saying last episode. And what I was saying last episode is, what's that woman going to bring to the table that's going to help the relationship grow?
Yeah.
It's more than just, what's up here and what's down there. It's what's up here. What is this woman doing that is going to, bring some stability, bring maybe some income, if that is the case,
Yeah.
into the household, so that this thing can grow and become what we want it to be for the future, not only for ourselves, but for our children,
Yeah.
as well. And since we're talking about that 50-50 relationships, and you were talking about the Bible, let's talk about the Bible for a second. Let's talk about Proverbs 31:10-31. That is what? The virtuous woman. Now, the virtuous woman is the definition right there of a woman who was 50-50.
Yep.
While her man was, out there taking care of business, in the, in the courtyards or whatever, handling his business. She was also out there. She was hustling. She had a business. She was taking care of the house. She was taking care of the kids, so much so that, she was basically the crown jewel in that house.
Mm.
Now,
I said we can actually press the stop button right there, because that debunks everything. Yeah, Pastor offering is in the building.
Yeah, man. Because that's what it's all about right there, in my opinion. Now, if the woman is not working and the man does have enough to sustain the household and whatnot, the woman should be doing her part, as far as the cooking, as far as the cleaning, as far as taking care of the children. If she's good with handling the finances, handle the finances, pay the bills and stuff like that. Do something that is contributing to that household, contributing to the overall well-being of the household, so that you can have something to build on, so that man can be confident and that man can feel like, okay, I got somebody who is pulling their share of responsibilities, while I handle mine.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. What is so wrong with that? But like you said before, you do have that, the generation now, to where it's like, well, I don't cook. That Cardi B, I don't cook, I don't clean, and
I
and all that.
still got the ring.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, for what? It's crazy. It's crazy, but I fault the dudes though for that, because they were not thinking about what was up here. It's most of those that are thinking about, again, what I got here, what you got here, and that's all I need.
That's all I need. And then when it comes time to pay the bills, when you fall, then what? When
Exactly.
that man falls and crumbles, then what?
Exactly.
Then you're steady trying to figure it out. Now that doesn't make logical sense to me. Like perfect example. And I like to use my life as an example because I've done a lot of really stupid things.
So,
And you know, perfect example of that. Fresh out when I got out of Job Corps and everything like that, got an apartment, and stupid me had an idiotic person living with me. You know what I'm saying? It's my son's mother. That was for me, that was like the epitome of like what the like WTF. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I was working Burger King and UPS at the time, busting my butt to take care of rent and bills and all that type of stuff to where she did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go one day. I mean, I went to Burger King, got up 5 a.m, went to Burger King, did 8 hours at Burger King, went to UPS, got off around midnight just to get home about like 1. The sun was still up, like my son was still up or something like that. And her thing was, oh, well, here, I've had him all day. You take him. That's all you had to do.
Right.
While I was working and doing all of this, you were doing nothing. But just because of the love of my child, I would do it anyway. And it just to the point, and it would always cause an argument. Now, mind you, I was like 19 at the time, but still, I like to use my life as an example. Like I've been there before. And that's what she felt. Oh, well, that's what you're supposed to do, work and this and this and this and that. I'm independent, blah, 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 blah. So I had to do like Jay-Z said. In the words of Jay-Z, get your independent ass out of here. Question was gone. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, and then the thing is, the person couldn't cook. I can't tell you how many times a month we had hamburger helper because that's all she could cook. I hate hamburger helper. That's why I don't like hamburger helper today. Anyway, but I'm just giving y'all an example of how the 50-50 thing, how the mentality of this person that thought like that. It's supposed to be 100% on the man, and I basically do nothing. Now, I know some people make the argument like, well, grandma and grandpa did it. Cool. When grandpa was out there, do you know how much stuff cost back then? It wasn't a lot. You get a package of Franks for like, I don't know, 10 cents, something like that. You can't do that nowadays. It takes 2. But
Yeah.
I have seen a woman, Grandma Richardson, go to work, come home, cook, take care of the household, take care of everything. Granddad would come home to a hot meal. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do.
A hot meal.
I do.
Granddaddy paid the bills and did everything like that. They were a team unit. They were like 50-50. But for some of the ones that say, well, I work, I've seen a woman do it. So it can be done. It's just we have gotten lazy.
Right.
Lazy. That's just what it is. We've gotten lazy. I don't mind like taking care of and providing for the family as long as you're doing your part. I don't mind that. But this, it's only on a man mindset, that bothers me. That really bothers me. And if you're a dude that is doing nothing while your woman is doing something, you're a punk. Like, get up and do something.
Pretty much.
I just got out of jail. All right, cool. Then you better join every program you can join to make some money to help that household out. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that. Honestly, I think you're less of a man if you're letting a woman carry the whole workload. That's just what it is.
Yep.
You got to, as a man, do what you got to do. There's been times where I've had odd jobs, 2, 3 of them, going from one place to the next just so I can make money. You know what I'm talking about? So I know how it is. So let me just put it out there. It's not bashing anybody, but think about it. It's like the same thing when, if your woman is driving, you're in the passenger seat and she gets out and pump the gas. Get your butt up and pump the gas.
Right.
Like, but come on,
Right.
bro. Like,
Right.
just it irks me. I'm telling you, it really, really irks me. But it's just that mentality, man. Like, I just don't understand why the 50-50 thing is just so wrong. Oh, the man has to make, 6 figures. Okay, so what are you gonna do? Well, I
Right.
look good. Okay. Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? All the
Oh, yeah.
excuses they have, but it's like, what else do you bring to the table?
Right.
But it's not a competition, it's a cooperation. Like, let's just come together and do it. You know what I'm saying? But if it works for you, it works for you. That don't never work for me, period. You know,
Right.
I will like to add, now let's just say this. If I know, you with a woman and she's been holding it down, and now you're in a position to where you can take her out of work. Boom. As long as she's been holding it down. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. But you're
Right.
not just gonna come into it and just be like, okay, you do all the work and I do nothing.
Right. When I was married, I
Mhm.
will say that I did take part in that right there. I was in a situation in which, when we first got married, she had a job and I had a job, obviously, and we, did do the 50-50 thing, in respects of, I worked, she worked, but then she did, the cooking and the cleaning and stuff like that as well. I took care of all the bills in the house. Why? Because I made more money
Yeah.
and I did not require her to pay anything. That's fine and good. When she got pregnant with my daughter, um, she stopped working. She stopped working because I had asked her to stop, because I wanted her, when our daughter was born, to take care of our daughter until she was old enough to talk.
Mhm.
Because, hey, let's face it, man, I really didn't trust these daycare places and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
And there's no way in the world I'm gonna have my daughter out there and something happens to her and she's not able to communicate
Yeah.
what happened. Now, things like that, man, if you can afford it, then hey, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as she is doing what she is supposed to be doing, as far as what y'all agreed to,
Yeah.
um, then I don't see any problems with it. It is definitely those issues where the man is, like you said, the man is doing everything outside. He's bringing all the money in, but the woman is doing nothing. Um, yeah, that's those issues. If you've got the money like that, hey, by all means,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it. And women, if you do have a man who is in that situation, then maybe you should, practice some humility and be grateful, that he is doing those things, because a lot of men out here that are not. Um,
Yep.
you're taking that stuff for granted. There's going to be somebody else out there that will definitely be vying for your spot, no matter what. No matter what the man may be, doing, no matter what y'all got going on as far as
Yeah.
your relationship, is always going to be some woman out there who's looking to take your place.
And
So
don't be fooled. They are
yeah,
out there.
yeah. So take heed. I mean, been there, done that. That is for sure. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but yeah, man.
I still would like to know, what is just so wrong with it? Who doesn't want that partner that was like, man, you bringing in bucks, she bringing in bucks. Let's do it together.
Yeah,
Yeah, I honestly, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But if you look at social media all day long, that's what you see. And then a lot of these individuals that are putting that toxic crap out there, they're not really living that lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, they're really not. It's just talking. A lot of it's talking just to get likes. But I mean, just the mind frame of some of these women I see, I don't understand that. What woman wouldn't want her own?
Right.
You know, I don't. It's a confusing topic for me, and the more videos I see, it's more and more aggravating. It's more and more aggravating because it's like at the end of the day, cool. He's making all the money. Cool. Something happens. What do you think is going to happen? And you have nothing.
Right.
Oh, we can go to court and this and this and that. I know dudes that know how to hide money and you will not get a dime. So if you're thinking about that route, don't be stupid. You know, one of the biggest people to ever do it was a guy I like to call Master P. This dude, it's all public record. If you go look at it, this dude, when they came after his money, when the wife or his ex came after his money, I think it was reported that he was bringing in like 2,500 a month. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. It was just one of those things where you thought you were being smart, but this man was smarter. Yeah. And you went after that money and you got nothing. And I said that to say if you would have had your own, you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? At least until you two get on a page to where, hey, I really would like to quit, you know, and stay at home or blah blah blah. If that's the way y'all got it set up, cool. But to come in with that mind frame, that's stupid. That's really, really dumb.
Yep. I agree with that right there. It takes a team,
yes,
to build the legacy, to build the life that you want to have. And if only one of y'all is doing it, what do you expect to happen? One of you is going to get frustrated.
Yep.
One of you is going to get tired. And then that's when all the problems are going to start. And you have to start asking yourself, well, how can this be rectified?
Mm-hmm.
If nobody's going to budge, especially like I said before, if it's the man that is doing all the work and the woman isn't doing anything, he's getting tired, he's going to be looking over like,
yeah.
The woman over here, you know, I mean, she's got something going on here. Let me see what's happening. And then the domino effect happens.
And it happens. It really, really happens. Yep. And I would also like to say when stuff like that happens and you put it out, you always had that one, bitter Betty, salty one. Well, that just means you can handle a strong woman.
Bam, right there.
WTF is a strong woman.
Yeah.
I've seen strong women, and no, ma'am, you're not it.
Yeah.
An attitude doesn't make you a strong woman. But I do understand, like, when you get dissed, you have to throw that out there. Well, I was just too strong for him. Da, 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 da. But if that keeps happening, it's kind of like my question would be, what's really wrong with you?
Right.
What's wrong with you? What's the real story? Because we're only hearing yours, but what's the real story?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it has anything to do with you being a strong woman. It's just there's a lot of things that are undercover that you're not discussing.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? But it happens, back to your point, where, they start like, Betty Sue got the, she got this, and that. But what I'm going on to, like, person does nothing. So,
right.
They had a song back in the days, CNC Music Factory. you know, things that make you go,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Man, that's that. I'm telling you, just the topic alone, it speaks volumes because everybody just has an opinion about it, But at the end of the day, yes, it just depends on what your preference is. You know what I'm talking about, and I have no quarrel with the, you know, strong woman. I don't. But you can be a strong woman yet still be feminine, yet still play a role, if you will. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Taking care of your man, taking care of the kids, household, things like that, and vice versa with the guys. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, vice versa. Like dudes, if you're able to work, get up and work. The whole hustling thing, you know what I'm talking about. That ain't what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about.
of course.
You know what I mean? That's short money, you
Yeah.
know. Was your, stocks, bonds, things of that nature, your 401s, stuff that you can build up for
Right.
your family,
Right.
you know.
That
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of Outcast, Sporty Odie, Dopalicious.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't gamble feeding baby on that dope money.
yeah, yeah.
Always be sufficient. But the 90 parcel service and the people at the post office didn't call you back because you had
Yeah,
cloudy piss.
yes. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I know what you
Oh,
mean, man.
yeah.
If you are going to be successful, if you're going to have a good future, man, that's definitely not the way to go.
Yeah.
You want to do things the right way. You want to have a good career, man, something that is going to be respectable, where you can get those stocks, those bonds, that retirement,
Yeah.
so you can live the way that you should be living,
Hmm.
you know? But speaking of that, though, as far as you were saying just a second ago about a woman who is handling her business, but her man
Hmm.
isn't doing anything, like, what if the woman has said, you know what, you don't work. I don't want you to work. I want you to stay home and I'm going to take care of everything. What do you think about that?
Um, Let me adjust my crown. Now, what the Rashad thinks of that is, if that was said to me, yes, I'd be flattered, but it's the same thing. I got to go out and get it, because what if it just so happens that, you know, Betty Lou is looking at Derek over there. Then she look at what she got at home, and then she looking at Derek, and it's like, what I got at home ain't doing nothing, but Derek is pulling in money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be caught out like that. Like, as a man, I would just have to pull my weight. I couldn't just sit home and do nothing.
Yep.
And even if a woman said that, like, I'll just take care of everything. Nah, I got to do something. But best believe I'm going to be cooking. I'm going to be washing dishes, washing clothes, and everything like that. If I had that kind of deal like that, of course. I mean, I do that stuff anyway. That's just what I've been trained to do. But if it was a situation like that, yeah, I think I'd still have to do something. I still have to work. I'm just built like that. I mean, I had my first job at what, 9, 10, something like that. So
Yeah.
I'm used to working, regardless if that was just taking out the trash. I was working. I was getting paid for it. I was getting $7 a week.
I remember that.
Just like as a man, like, you just have to do something. You have to. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, your job, yes, is to take care of your family, take care of your household, i.e., make sure they're protected and all this other type of stuff. You know what I mean? Watching out for things. If something is broke, fix it. If you can't fix it, call somebody. That type of stuff.
Yep.
But just sitting around doing nothing. I don't know. But same question. What you think about that? If you had the opportunity.
Well, I actually had the opportunity. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
So way back in the day, I was in my
Story
late
time.
yeah. I was in my late 20s. She
Mhm.
was in her mid 30s. And this is somebody that I had been crazy about for like the longest time since I was young, man.
Ah.
And yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So so she says to me, I'll take care of you. She had a good job, real good job, making really good money, nice house, everything. And, I'm just getting out of the Navy and really didn't have much at that time. She says, I'll take care of you. I will do, what I need to do, and you can go to school. That's all you have to do. I turned it down because at that
Oh.
point, I didn't even have an associate's degree. I had college, but I didn't even have an associate's degree at that time. And I was working at some temporary job, whatever the case at the time. And I told her, no, I can't do that. I'm a man. I have to take care of myself. If we're going to have anything, I need to have my own first. And there was no way in the world I was going to let a woman take care of me and do the things that I should be doing. As a man, that personally, that's a pride thing to me. It's a pride thing to me. I love a woman that can say, "Hey, I will take care of you. I will, make sure the bills are paid and all that kind of stuff." That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Being the man that I am the leader. I am the head. I'm the one who pays the bills. I am the one who makes sure things are taken care of as far as the house goes. And
Yeah.
it is what it is. Now, having said that, of course, if I do have a woman who is also making the bread and she's like, well, babe, I'm going to take care of this and this. And okay, cool. That's great. You know what I'm saying? We're both pulling our weight. We're both putting into the house. We're both helping build what we have.
Yep.
That is fantastic. But for a woman to just take care of me and I'm not doing anything, nah, that's not gonna work. Not for Dre.
Yeah. Not just not built like that.
No, no.
Just not built like that. I mean, a lot of that could be, and that would be what I would say a strong woman, but still knows how to be feminine
Yes,
and submissive,
yes,
things that way. And
yes.
when we talk about this word being submissive, that's
Receive.
not mean that I'm telling you what to do.
Right,
It's
right.
basically like, okay, let's come to the table. Let's talk about it. Let's make an agreement and let's go there instead of I'm going to argue my point. Until the dude is like, all right,
Yep.
whatever, cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that. That's really good.
Yeah, it's
You
a thing that kills me sometimes is like these women that strong women. Well, it take a strong man to tame me. To tame you, what are you, an animal? We tame animals.
Yes.
We tame animals. We shouldn't be, trying to tame people.
Yeah, just naturally. And sometimes you got to be careful with the playing your role thing.
Yes.
Because even now that is like, we may play your role. It's just the role of a man and a woman. Just play your role, you know.
Yep.
Like everything is not an argument. Everything is not a fight, which is why I said before we have to practice that art that we've lost. Is called listening. just don't do that anymore. Listen to each other, and then boom, we agree to disagree or come to a medium, whatever you want to call it. But that is a big issue too. This whole I want the power type thing. I want to one up you. You know what I'm talking about? And that's a dangerous situation to be in, because a lot of individuals will, all right, they allow you to act a butt all you want to, but then it's that, you see what's that over here, and you see what's over there, yeah. They gonna get me for that, but that's all right. I don't care.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Speaking the truth.
Speaking the truth, but it's not like that man said, it's not a competition, it's a cooperation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a cooperation. I just don't understand that. What is so wrong with the 50-50 thing? I don't get it. I don't understand, because like Kevin Samuel's point, if it's just the man that was doing a bunch of stuff, right? He falls. He can no longer do it.
Yep.
Then what happens?
Right.
And then I mean, yeah, you're gonna run out quick to get a job at the Mickey D's or something, and that ain't gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? So it really takes two people to really build something. To really build a household, it takes two. It's not a one person thing. I know they did it back in the days, but everyone played their role. But like I said, back in the days, things didn't cost what they cost now.
Right.
Everybody's big thing. You see how much eggs cost. Because shoot, I'm about to go get me a chicken coop myself, to be honest. But that all we're trying to say is it's a cooperation. But even getting back to the, it takes a strong man to, like, oh my gosh, that's another thing I don't like. Which is why, like, what do you say? What that man say? Get a dog, die alone. That's why a lot of you are doing that, dying alone, because it's like for some reason you just won't allow someone to like tell you anything. Yeah. You don't know everything, and one thing that really chops me up is like, and know it all. Like, you don't know it all, and if somebody's trying to explain something to you, listen.
Yep.
But you got that whole it all attitude. So it's like, all right, I ain't gonna say nothing. So when the time comes when you ask for an opinion, I ain't gonna tell you nothing. I'd be like, you know it all, so you figure it out.
Yeah.
Then that starts a whole nother argument. But that it happens. You know what I'm saying? If you know it all, then go ahead and know it all. Google it. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
a lot of that stuff comes from past hurts.
Yeah.
Men will come along and they basically don't live up to the expectations, of the woman, or the woman has seen something in her past that makes her feel like, well, I need to be this type of woman, and he needs to deal with it. No, that's just not how that works. That's not how any of this stuff works. If you want to have a good man, then you need to show yourself to be a good woman, period.
Facts.
The kind of woman who is going to be loving, who's going to be supportive, who's going to be caring, who's going to say, babe, I got your back no matter what happens. It's not going to be, well, if you don't do this, then I ain't going to do that. It's self-destruction right there. Compromise, got to be a compromise, because if there is none, that 50-50 compromise, really, that's what it's all about.
That's right, what it's all about.
If there is no compromise, there is no strong relationship.
Yeah.
This is all there is to it.
That's very, very true. It's like, it's almost like like you were saying, like, well, I'll back up and say what was asked of me in a lot of my inbox and everything. It's like, I see the topic you guys are talking about, but here's a question. And I think a few people asked me this. The question was, what do you men really want? Now, my answer would be, what type of man are we talking about? Because men are different all across the board. No, we are not the same.
Right.
So you can't generalize us all, because we're not. All men are not the same. We may have some of the same characteristics, but we're not the same. A lot of us think different.
Right.
But a good one really only wants support of his woman, the love of his woman. For the woman have his back. Just say, hey, babe, good job. Every now and again, I appreciate you. That goes a long way versus you running your mouth all the time. You know what I mean? Almost like nothing that you do is good enough. You know what I'm saying? But that's all a man like me really wants anyway.
Right.
I don't need you to buy me nothing. I buy it for myself. You know what I'm saying? If I want it, I ain't waiting till my birthday. I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
So that's not even, that's not even a part of it. Yeah, of course, every man would like for, oh yeah, hey babe, I bought you a shirt, whatever. Oh, well, for me, pick a transform out you would like. I would love that. But really, we just want to know that we're appreciated. That's it. It's not a big deal.
Right.
If you want to talk to us, talk to us. Don't talk at us, because I know for me, once your octaves start going up, I ain't listening.
Right.
I look at you, but I'm in the Poconos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't hearing nothing you saying. And then there'll be no dialogue. It's like, all right, you right, I'm wrong. That's it. Ain't got nothing else to say. No more talk. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Above that though, I think a man wants respect.
Yes.
First and foremost, a man wants respect. And in that same vein, you were talking about talking to, versus talking at, that was like one of the problems, in my marriage. I'm gonna, say that was because, the woman felt like, it was okay to talk at me, when I am paying all the bills, when I'm taking care of the issues of the house, and you're talking at, oh nah, that's
You know
not
how many women would want that deal?
right. Right.
Bruh.
Right. Be quiet, listen, respect me, recognize the things that I do right. I might not have done everything that you wanted me to do at that time. I may have not done everything right, but respect or appreciate the things that I did do right.
Yeah.
That was a big problem there, among other things, and that led to other things.
Yeah.
But ladies, if you have a man who is taking care of business at home, if he is providing, he might not be, the emotional man or whatever. He may not be giving you all of the affection that you're, looking for. Maybe it's some things about him that that just he can't show it. Maybe some things about him that preclude him from showing his affections or whatever the case may be. Might be something in the past.
Yeah.
His childhood or whatever the case may be. I mean, I take us, for example. I mean, it wasn't really like that when we were coming up. We ain't really have a lot of that, at least not from like the immediate home. So it is kind of hard for us sometimes.
Yeah.
But in the things that we are not doing, as far as, might not be a lot of I love yous and all that kind of stuff, we're doing things for you. We are
showing it.
Sure that you are, again, we are making sure that you are being taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's the language that we speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I totally agree, because no, there was not a lot of that in the house. I can't, I can honestly say I don't recall ever hearing that. I never heard "I love you." Like for grandma, yeah. My
Yes.
mom, I didn't
Yes.
hear that. You know, you heard it from grandma all the time.
Yeah.
And hear from your mom things. It was almost like toughen up, you know, tough. Like
Right.
when I tell people the story, like we grew up tough. We had to fend for ourselves. We had to like cook our own food at times, loading all the clothes up into the pillowcase to walk it over to the laundromat, pour everything on hot, dump a whole bunch of pound on it, and watch it because that's how we were brought up. But we were
Right.
brought up tough. So when it came to trying to show that same affection to a woman, it's like it's kind of hard, like to really be lovey dovey. But if you know the type of person I am, like from this guy, you can't get $1 out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how it is. But if you're doing it for your woman, oh hey, I want to get like this or that. Cool, cool, cool. That's the love language. Refrigerator, washer dryer, whatever the case is. It's like that's it. So I may not say it, but I'm like showing it.
Yeah.
A lot of time there's so much going on up here that it's really hard, which is why I'm an advocate for counseling.
Right.
Going to get you some counseling. It's you know, it's a good thing, especially for guys.
Right.
Get counseling. Get past the old hurt. Men and women both get past the old hurt so you can move on because that stuff will hinder you in your relationships. And I've seen it.
Yep. Yep. Been there.
This guy.
Been there. You know, that's one of the best things that you can do.
Yeah.
If you need it, go get it.
Go get it.
I would highly recommend that. It is beneficial to you and definitely will be beneficial to your partner in the long run.
Yeah.
Because if you're carrying those past hurts into these present relationships, your future relationships, it ain't going to work out well.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be fortunate if you're able to sustain it for a while, but there are going to be some triggers that come in. And next thing you know, you're falling out because of something that somebody said that may have gotten misconstrued, but because it was said in your past, now, oh, this can't work and I'm finished and all that kind of stuff.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Seek the therapy. Men and women. Go get it. Yeah.
In closing, I would like to throw out there also that, you know, in this day and age of like the internet, you find what works for yourself and your partner.
Yep.
Stop listening to all of these people who are just out for likes and attention, because a lot of the stuff that they are talking, they don't believe it and they don't live it. Right. So perfect example, like the dude that was talking about the men that were cheating and doing all this other stuff, and come to find out he was doing exactly what he was preaching about, and then had his woman up there with the head bonnet looking crazy.
Jackson.
Yeah. Congratulations. You played yourself. Yeah. Just like on the internet, man, everybody is a preacher, a pastor, a relationship expert. It's like, oh, sit down and get a real job. You know, knock it off. Stop listening to this stuff, because you're listening to this stuff and you're bringing it into your household and it's not working. And then you wonder why it's not working, because you're listening to a person that's not even living what they're talking about.
Right.
You know, that's just my, you know, PSA for this episode. Stop listening to all that stuff. But the 50-50 thing, I have no problem with it. See what works for you and your partner and run with it.
And that's all we got to say about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for joining us on this episode. If you have liked what you heard, you like what you've seen, you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share us we would definitely greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
As far as social media, you can find me at Dre_Allday24 on Instagram. I am at Dre Allday Murvin on Facebook. You can find us collectively on IG at the Murvin Brothers. And you can find Rashad at
Rashad the Toy Collector on IG, Rashad the Toy Collector on YouTube, also MOG Murvin on IG, MOG Murvin on YouTube, www.mogmurvinmusic.com.
So as you can see, there is no excuse
None.
for trying to find us because we are everywhere.
Everywhere.
Until next time.
Yes.
And I'm Dre. That is Rashad. And we will see you on.
See? What happened was. Y'all be cool out there in internet land.
Peace. Good night, Ralph.
Good night, Penguin.